Okay, it's January 27th, 2019. We're doing another installment of Keys, Love Letters from God.
Yep.
And that is number 47, entitled Ownership. And here's Bob Nelson, to read it to you.
Okay. Last letter, God mentioned ownership a number of times, and guess what? This letter is ownership. What do you own? To answer this one, ask, what owns you? Perhaps a far more accurate way to state this question and answer is to ask yourself, what will you allow to own you? Now, what is ownership in the first place? It is simply your need for belonging. Do not confuse your need for belonging with the illusionary need for ownership. To what or whom do you wish to belong? The objects, corporations, enterprises, projects, and proprieties and properties which you number among your own are used by you to convince yourself of your reality. That's powerful, that's potent. So anything we really think that we own becomes a method for us to convince ourselves of our reality. And it's not the way to do it. When these methods and systems no longer are enough to meet such a need, you may become quite bitter or even spiritually hollow. Remember, these things you may well put before me are false gods. Sooner or later you will have to give them up, because we'll choose to, for they honor neither you, my beloved, nor me. After you have tried methods of proof of your reality which do not work, then you will try that which does. The key is simple. Own nothing and no one, and be not owned by anything or anyone. I know this may sound too extreme. Believe me, the damage you do yourself and those whom you feel that you own is far more drastic than you wish to imagine. For those of you who would say, God, this is not practical. Is it so practical for you to destroy yourself? You see, you have a direct dichotomy of choice here. Choose either enslavement or freedom. If you are a business person, you are used to determining the lives of others. Then those you think you own actually own you as well, in the degree of legal and financial responsibilities you assume for them. For always there is a danger of your corporation and those who you employ becoming owned by an even more vicious business person than you. Then you find you will need to buy legal and governmental protections and support. Wow! What an entangled web of enslavement you would be weaving. And many people do. Of course, you will need a rather large medicine cabinet to hold all the headache and stress medications you will consume as a very regular part of your daily life. Even still, you will be dying an early death due to the damage done to you by yourself as you become a shark swimming among sharks. I did not give you your lives and your world in order that you may own them. I gave them to you so you might take responsibility with them and delight in them in so much as you share in them with one another. There is nothing whatsoever wrong with making a hefty profit or running a large corporation, as long as the process of such is shared. In so doing, your suppliers, your workers, and your patrons become brothers and sisters, celebrating their lives, that you live in a world in which you live with them. You neither profane yourself nor do you poison nature. This, my beloved, is the secret of good business. Let it be a relationship shared. So what he's saying is that if we actually share our successes and share our businesses and corporation, our lives together, then we won't be destroying the quality of our lives, and we won't be poisoning our world either.
I can just hear the right-wing Christians yelling, "That's socialism! That's not good! That's communism!"
Hey, it's just love.
Well,
I know. We've turned good Christian concepts into right-wing concepts of left-wing stuff. Socialism and communism. Frankly, socialism is not an evil. The same example I have just given you must be applied in your lives, relationships, outside of your businesses as well. I'm going to read that again. The same example I have just given you must be applied in your lives, relationships outside of your business as well. So every relationship it can only be shared, or it's not a relationship, is what he's saying. To ever view your family members and friends as having little or nothing to offer you beyond being owned by you is to blind yourself to the glory that is theirs, yours, and mine. This next one is capitalized boldface type. You are not an object. Neither are your brothers and sisters, nor is the ground upon which you walk. You cannot look upon any of these without seeing my face looking back at you. And so much as you would ever reduce your view of your brother and sister to that of an object, so have you then reduced your view of me and that to that of a myth. I assure you, I am no myth. The wages of sin is not death. The wages of self-imposed nonsense, S-I-N, is hopelessness. For this then is the state of hell. I will never condemn you to that. Please do not please do not imprison yourself or one another there either. What can I do but remind you of what you already inherently know? I am well aware that many of you view me as some kind of universal ruler who is capable of interfering in your lives at any time of my choosing. Well, sometimes I do just that. However, I do so by reminding you to see me in your own reflection as beheld in your brothers and sisters. Remember that my authority, just like yours, exists at the point of an agreement. You agree with yourself where you will place my authority. Good one to read again because it's powerful. You agree with yourself where you will place my authority. Likewise, you and I may agree to share my vision as your own within the relationships you may share with one another and with your world. You see, it is really quite simple. You may agree with yourself only, and that is all you will have. Or you may invite me to help you to share in my vision, and then we have the kingdom of heaven, which is your birthright. So we can agree only to our individual selves, and we're locked in on that, which is very limiting, very limited, and nothing compared to when we agree between God and us as one. For this, my beloved, is your reality. Where there is reality, there is no room for doubt. You cannot serve both reality and doubt at the same time. For one is real and eternal, while the other is delusional and suicidal to the quality of the Spirit. Agree to own no one and nothing, and you are free to celebrate your lives, your world, and one another. This is the truth that sets you free. For as you free your brother and sister, You free me and them. From me, freedom to you, the unowned. God. So, again, what we own owns us. So let's not own anything or anyone and be free with everyone and everything. Guess that's it for this one. Godspeed.
It's a very big part of the Eastern philosophy's message as well.
Yes.
Okay.